Hello students, and welcome to the fourth video in our series here on solving inequalities of complicated or complex looking polynomials or functions in general, not just polynomials. And in this video we're going to deal with functions that have undefined points. So it's like the question in the first video here, except we have a new question. For which values of x is f of x to be undefined? And I'm going to go over this part a little bit quick because I'm making the assumption that you've already studied and you already know how to find undefined values of fractions, of equations that have fractions and variables in them. So undefined here is division by 0, so we're going to check that. Check the denominator here, 2x plus 1 x minus 1, 2x plus 1 x minus 1 equals 0. Gosh, that's sloppy. Those are parentheses. And we can solve this equation. 2x plus 1 equals 0, x minus 1 equals 0, x equals 1, x equals negative 1/2. So these points here, it's definitely going to be undefined. Where f of x is undefined. Okay? But also square roots of negatives. So if x plus 3 is less than 0, then x less than negative 3 would lead you to have undefined values as well. Okay? So for part A, we can actually answer, and this is the answer right here. Okay. Now I'm gonna wait for a minute here before I write the final answer. Well, what about if x equals 0? I mean, where would x be for f of x to be 0? Well, you set the entire equation equal to 0, and you solve, which leads you to get 0 equals square root of x plus 3. Square both sides. Negative 3 equals x. So this is a 0. Okay? And that's about it for the 0. Now for negative, positive, that's a little bit harder to do. So again, what we're going to do here is make a sign chart. And this one's a little bit more difficult than the other charts that we've made. So I got the full number line here. I'm going to put negative 3 on there. I'm going to put negative 1/2 on there. I'm going to put 1 on there. So now, I know without a doubt that if x is less than negative 3, so from this point onwards, from negative 3 and back, this is undefined. At negative 3, it's a 0. Okay? So it's undefined when it's less than that. At negative 3, it's 0. At negative 1/2, it's undefined. At 1, it's undefined. Okay? What about in between? So if I put in a number between negative 3 and negative 1/2, so if you put a number in here that's bigger than negative 3, so let's try, try 0. I'll write on the side here. Try 0. If you put 0 in here, you're going to get a positive number on the top. Right? That's the numerator. If you put 0 in here, you're going to get 0 plus 1. That's going to give you a positive number. If you put 0 in here, you're going to get a negative number. So you have a positive on the top, positive times negative on the bottom. That's going to make it negative. So basically, you have two positive and a negative, so that's going to make the whole section there negative. And I kind of just picked a number to try. The point is, it doesn't matter what number you try, as long as it's in this range, because we already know that it's not 0, it's not undefined. It's either going to be positive or negative. It can't be both, because if it was both, it would have to cross over to 0 one more time. Okay? And let's keep on going. What about between 1/2 and 1? So let's pick a number like, let's try 0.6. Okay? So if I put 0.6 into here, I get the square root of 3.6. That's a positive number on the top. If I put 0.6 in here, I get a positive number in there. And if I put 0.6 in here, I get a negative number. 0.6 minus 1 is a negative number. So I got positive, positive, negative. That's going to give me a negative answer. Right? Just think about it. If you have a positive divided by a positive divided by another negative, you're going to get a negative answer. And then finally, what if I put a number bigger than 1 in here? So larger than 1. Try 2. Okay. So for 2, you're going to get square root of 5. That's going to give you a positive on the top. This is going to be positive. 2 minus 1 this time is going to be a positive number. So you have 3 positives. This is going to be positive. Okay. So we answered A. So actually I'm going to write A a little bit better. I'm going to say it's between negative infinity and negative 3, union with, these squiggly brackets means just one number. 1/2, union with 1. Okay. So the parentheses means an entire interval of numbers. These squiggly brackets just means one number. Okay. For part C, negative, well, you can see it's between negative 3 and 1/2, exclusive, and then between 1/2 and 1. What about for positive values? Well, positive is going to be between 1 and infinity. So there you have it, a complete description of this behavior. We didn't really need a graph. You can certainly use a graph to help you, but a graph by itself is not enough. So I'll let you graph this on your own and see if you can get the same information here. But a graph on its own is really not enough. You really have to be able to think through this critically, algebraically, in order to get the full picture. Okay? And it's not terribly difficult, but it is tricky, and it does require you to fully engage your mind into this. So if you can do that, keep working at it, you will find success in these types of difficult problems. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.